Hello there, my name is Bruce Rain from Brackers Creations, and thank you very much for joining me. I must apologise to people that I haven't streamed in a while. Does this picture look kind of smeary to you? I don't know, it looks a bit slightly out of focus or something. I didn't stream last weekend. I was away for the weekend at a wonderful boozy event. It was lots and lots of fun. A shout out to the wonderful people at the Broken Wood Winery in the Hunter Valley who made our weekend extremely memorable, and it was lots and lots of fun. But of course, it meant that I was away sort of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Came home late on Sunday or Sunday afternoon, and it just meant that streaming was just not an option. So I will try and make up for it today by making this one of the best. Super exciting, absolutely unparalleled. Okay, so I have to say hello to Jay from the House of Moth. I have to say hello to Thomas Armstrong, Eric's Edge. I'll say hello to myself because I'm in the chat there. Hello, Bruce. And hello to Jack68K. Greg's here. Hello, how are you? A couple of things I need to mention. Well, I just got to check here that make sure that this is all, everything's fine. Yeah, good. Yeah, okay, cool. Charlie's here. Patrick, hello. There's all this stuff I need to mention. So, first of all, huge shout out to Jack68K. Thank you very, very much. I put out the word on one of my live streams that I had a dead Flex SCSI cable for the PowerBook 52540 series. Essentially what has happened is the layers have delaminated, caused the wires to then touch inside, created a short, which then made it delaminate even more. And yeah, it just got progressively worse and worse and worse. And Jay from the House of Moth has offered to actually try and repair this. Now, when I say offered, he said he wants to give it a go. And I think he's got no chance at all. I honestly don't think Jay from the House of Moth has got a chance in hell of actually fixing this. But it should be a lot of fun watching him try. So, did I say hello to you already, Patrick? If I didn't, hello. What else? Okay, I'm just having a look here. Just need to make sure that I've done everything. This is telling me that I've got 3 concurrent viewers, but I seem to be talking to more people than that in the chat, so it is perhaps incorrect. I just want to check something here very quickly, make sure I haven't done anything stupid with this. Yep, that's all good with this live stream. All good. So I basically just had to say that to Jay because I know that he is working at the moment and he has no room for a keyboard on his desk, so I had to reach out and say something to force him to grab the keyboard. So now, another really important thing I need to mention, I now have a Patreon. Now, that does not place any obligation on anyone to start subscribing to my Patreon and becoming a patron. It's there if you want it. I had a few people that were kind of saying, just do it. And I was staring at it going, I don't know. And then I thought, stuff it, everyone else does, so why not? So I now have a Patreon. There's a link in the description if you want to go there and do the Patreonic thing. A huge shout out, of course, to my very first patron, and that would be Jay from the House of Moth. So a big thank you to Jay from the House of Moth for becoming a Patreon patron, and it is much appreciated. So yes, big shout out to Jay there. Yeah, so that's that. All things DG, hello. Now, okay, I have got a bunch of things that I need to try and get done today, and I don't know what I will and won't do. I will just wait and see. I've got a 2010/11 MacBook Pro 17-inch where I need to try and sort out something with the display connector. I have got a Macintosh SE here where the ADB does not work, and that one is fairly easy, but I probably won't be able to fix it because I don't think I have a spare ADB chip. I may be able to salvage one off a Classic, but if I do that, I need to get one of Kai's little adapter-rooney things, which are just awesome. I'll need to get a few of them made up. So essentially what he did is Kai made a little PCB, little weird shaped PCB, that allows you to use the PLCC package ADB chip in place of the DIP chip on an SE, and because those chips are not available anymore in a DIP format, but they are available in a PLCC format, albeit quite expensive. But that's that. Obsolete techie, hello. Let's see if anything explodes. There's always a chance. Always a chance. A couple of other things. I have coming up a Flux review video. The lovely people at Amtech have been ever so kind and have given me a few more different types of Flux to try. So I've got here 4300 LFTF. I have here the NC559 V3TF, which of course we've talked about on this channel a little bit. It is slightly modified to what it was before. I provided some feedback that I felt that it had a little bit too much scent in it. So they pulled the scent back and they have made this a slightly less stinky one. And then I've got another one a lot of people have talked about, and that's the VS213 ATF. So I'm going to be trying all of these out in a Flux shootout, if you will. I'll be chucking in a few other fluxes as well. I've got some Interflux flux here. I've got some MG Chemicals flux. I've got some other flux. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a state of flux here. Here we go. Here it is. The old, the Chip Quick flux here. Keeping in mind that Chip Quick make a couple of fluxes, and one of them is garbage. This one quite good. Jeff Barnard, hello. So anyhow, that's something to look forward to for anyone who is interested in Flux. I will be putting all of those different fluxes through their paces, and then I'll be putting forward essentially my opinion of these things. And it will only be my opinion. I'll give my reasons for why I like these things, but they may not be the same as your reasons. For example, when it comes to cleaning Flux off, I don't care how difficult it is to clean off. I chuck things in an ultrasonic cleaner. But if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, having it, making it easy to clean off might be quite important to you. So anyhow, and then of course, if you're doing rework for a really long time, for instance, some of the fluxes I've found, with repeated exposure to heat, they get really yucky, brown, mucky yuck. So, which Chip Quick is rubbish? That's a good question. Would it be more logical for me to tell you which one is not rubbish? And that would be this one here, SMD 4300 TF10. Incidentally, you see TF turn up on these things all the time. It stands for tacky flux. That's what TF stands for. So, now, I do have the bad one floating around here on the desk somewhere, but as is often the case with me, it is a bit of a mess right now. Yeah, like it's ever not a mess. I might actually do something about this today. I've got I got one of those Dyson things, those stick vacuum cleaners, the Dyson V8. Man, those things are good. They are really convenient. Any chance of Australian Amazon links for the Flux and your other affiliate links? Now, here's the issue. I don't actually think the Amtech Flux is available on Australian Amazon. I think it's only available on US Amazon. I will double check that. The link in my description is an affiliate link to the US listing. Does it, by any chance, does it sort of say they don't deliver to Australia? Because if that's the case, I'll get in touch with them. I'll get in touch with them and tell them to sort that out, because they should deliver to Australia. They certainly have delivered to me enough times. This is my favourite one, the little cute one, the little 5cc one. Really cute. Look, it's compared to the size of these other ones. That's a 10cc. I used to use the 30cc's, but I just found them too much of a pain. They keep having this situation where you go to squeeze out a little bit of flux and you put it down, it just keeps oozing out and oozing out and oozing out. So, Justin, hello there. I still haven't sent off that chip to Jay. I do apologise. I've got a bunch of things to send off to Jay. I need to send him one of these. He already has one, but he wants a spare. This is the Brucinator. I need to send him a 250 megabyte USB zip drive. I need to send him this ribbon cable, and I need to send him I think, a couple of chips for repairing the two CIs. So I've got to put together a bit of a care package and we'll be away. Had trouble with Sample 88 last night. Dun, dun, dun. What trouble did you have with Sample 88, Justin? Do tell. You do know you're not meant to eat it. Just saying. Firewire. Are you sure it's Firewire? I thought it was USB. I think it's USB. It might be Firewire. But I think it's... if we talk about the zip drive, was there some other Firewire thing I was sending you? Hey. What don't you like about the chip quick? Okay, that's the other one, which I haven't been able to find. What I don't like about it is, well, first of all, it stinks. That's one thing. It really has quite an unpleasant smell about it. Now, I know you're not meant to be inhaling the stuff, but you still get whiffs even with a fume extractor. So it has quite an unpleasant smell. In my opinion, it burns away too easily, and it goes kind of black and yucky after a while on the board if you have repeated exposure to heat. But this will all be in my review, y'all. Something to look forward to. I wish I could find it. I mean, maybe I put it back in my goo container. This is all the different types of goo I have here. I'm doing a video on that. It's going to be a Patreon exclusive. And it is going to be me going through all the different little tubes of goo that I have. And what they do. And what purpose they serve. And why I have them here. And I still can't find the chip quick. Never mind. So that's what I don't like about the chip quick. But this one, on the other hand, this one is bloody awesome. I have to say I'm really impressed with this, but this is really expensive for me to buy locally. So it is actually cheaper for me to buy Amtech from overseas than it is to buy this from a local distributor. So, Apple's Anonymous, hello there. Vintage Hillbilly Shack, hello there. Justin streamed last night. He was having a terrible time trying to remove, removing dip chips is a nightmare. It is indeed. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at this SE, Macintosh SE. So this is it here. Let's see if we can get a bit of a top view here. Top view, there we go. There's an SE. Hello SE. Whee! Now, I like the SE. I like the SE a lot. A couple of things about this one. This person has removed the battery. Smart move. I'm going to plonk on a battery holder on there so they can put their own battery in it in the future. This one has been upgraded to 4 megabytes. We can see that these are definitely 1 megabyte SIMs here. They're not the 256 ones. So this has been upgraded from 1 megabyte up to all the way to 4 megabyte. They can't go any further. This is one of the later model boards that has jumpers here for changing the RAM. So you've got different settings for whether you have 1 megabyte in there, made of 4 256K SIMs, or whether you have, like, what is it? 2.5, two ones and two 256s, or 4 ones. I think that's all you can do in terms of the configuration, pretty sure. Oh, you can have 2, of course, 2 ones and nothing in the other. So you change things there with the jumpers for that. In the early ones, they were done with resistors, and then a little bit later on, they put a little board on top of the resistors with a jumper on it, and then they built the jumper into the board here, and this is the later revision of the board. So isn't that nice? I like this one, but basically what this person is saying is that it doesn't have any ADB. Now, right here is the ADB chip. Okay, I got the chip out. I'm having to use. Interesting. So when it comes to removing dip chips, I have started using a different method to the way I used to do it. I don't use my solder sucker. I don't use solder wick. I now use that heated bed thingy, the solder, what do you call it? Hot plate. Hot plate, that's a good word for it. Because in my opinion, every other method sucks. So I just pop this on it, I get it sticking hot, and then I just pull the chip off. Just make sure, I always make sure there aren't any bent pins. If there are bent pins on the other side, I unbend them. I do it that way. I've just given up on the other methods, to be honest. I've tried so many different methods and I never have any real success. You know, you've got a small chip, if you've got a little RAM chip or something like that, yeah, you'll get it off. It's a pain in the bum, but you will get it off. But Yeah, I'm just using the hot plate now. Okay, so this, oh, the sticker came off. Came off while I was pointing at it. There it is. And this is a little sticker that says, put my goggles on for this, 34204440B. And that's the interesting thing. If we get a classic board, which I'm sure I have here somewhere, here's a classic board. This is a special classic board because it's black. This is a reloaded board made by moi. And here we have the ADB chip, and this one is I can't read it. Can't read it. There we go. No, we don't. Something dark side. 342S0440. Same numbers. Okay. Solder socket, that was one issued. Okay, solder socket didn't suck. Yes, well, that can happen. They can get clogged up. The other really important thing when you're working with a solder sucker, any sort of solder sucker, they only work if air can flow around what you're trying to suck. So if you have a pin, there's a hole for the solder, and you've got the pin sitting in there, and there's solder around it. If it's really tight, God, this is getting rude, isn't it? If it's really tight, when you use the solder sucker, there's nowhere for the air to flow to then pull that solder out, and they're really hard to do. If it's a situation where there's a bit of give, there's a bit of room around the pin, you'll get the sucking of the solder quite good. But again, this is why I've been using the hot plate. Right, so let's have a look at this ADB chip under the microscope and just see if we can see anything. Our hope is that there is one thing I really hope. I hope that everyone goes and
smash that like button.
I set that up wrong, didn't I? I said because it should have then been smashes that like button. So anyhow, okay, scope view. All right, so here is our chip, and what we're going to do first of all is look and see if there's anything obviously wrong, like trace damage, pin damage, that sort of thing, and whether there's anything that we can actually repair as opposed to just replacing this chip. So we've got places that you can have issues with. You can end up getting cracks along here where the pin attaches to the casing. I don't see any of those. That's not a crack, that's a bit of fur. I don't see any cracks here. We wanted cracks, but I don't see any cracks. So, and then we'll just get the tweezers here, and we'll give this a bit of a nudge to see that we don't have any movement. Nope. So we're just looking for that obvious stuff at this stage. Watched a bit of Goodfellas last night in honour of the passing of Ray Liotta. Didn't watch the whole thing because it's so freaking long. Thank you, Scorsese. Okay. Just broke the like button. Thanks NBN, Disney Plus and YouTube fighting for bandwidth. It's no good. Had a really funny situation. I got contacted by Telstra, which is my service provider, saying that they were going to change my plan to a different plan. And I didn't particularly like the plan, but, you know, I was going to upgrade to a better plan. Anyhow, they said it would happen on the 1st of June. Well, it hasn't happened. And then, this is the funny thing. I thought, okay, well, I wonder why it hasn't changed yet. So I went and had a look at plans that were available. The plans that were on offer. and there's like 5 different plans of different speeds. Every single one is flagged as unavailable to me. I don't know. All right, so here is the problem. I don't believe that there is anything wrong here. We will have a look, just a little look for any potential trace damage. I should actually test it, shouldn't I? I can't just take the word for it. It could be a bad keyboard for all I know. But we'll try it. Yeah, I'll flip over to the other side. I mean, there's just no damage on this at all. There's no corrosion. No, it's as clean as a whistle. I mean, okay, yeah, it needs the ultrasonic cleaner. It's got a few pubes on it, and it's a bit dirty, but you know, it's pretty good. I mean, look how shiny and glossy it is. It's a real treat. All right, let's grab ourselves a chassis and fire it up and see if it works. Get away, you stupid bloody pigeons. Maybe it's because the weather's getting colder. They are just getting frenzied at the moment when it comes to trying to eat my chicken's food. Frenzied. Right, this here is a very dirty SE30 chassis, and I need my extension cable, which I had here recently, like just around here. It's got to be on the table because I'm sure it's on the table. I was looking at it just recently, and I mean, unless I grabbed it and decided, I'm going to put this somewhere else, just because it's possible, it should just be here. It should just be here. Did I put it in a classic? Maybe? Maybe? Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, what was that? Ain't no good. Oh, that's that one I broke. That's my one. Oh, come on, man. So I find something and then I'll lose it again before I even get to use it. What a plonk. I'm such a prune. Ah, here it is. Here it is. Call off the search facts. It's all good. Got it. Got it. This is my extension cable that allows me to run the board outside of the computer. Now, I should not even need to connect a keyboard for this. I can just get a mousey, which I did find the other day. Remember I lost my mouse? Well, you may not remember because you may not have been watching that live stream. But I lost my mouse. But anyhow, I found my mouse now. So, you know, isn't that good? Okay. 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 Again, just looking for anything that might look a little bit... Can't find anything. Good. Right, so, mousey. Let's see if we can change view. You might be able to see the screen a little bit better if I go front on. Just me. That's the view I have. The view is called Just Me. Power, please. Here's some power. Come undone, you thing. Whew. I also need to assemble some blue scuzzies today. That's another thing I've got today. And you know what else I have to do? I have to repair my television set. I'm thinking about making a video about it. I might video it, turn it into a video and video it. If the spring loader ones didn't jump so much and I can get replacement Teflon tips. Yeah, I would say the same about that. Some of them you can definitely get replacement Teflon tips. And yes, the jumping so a lot is just a nightmare. Okay, cool. All right, we're all good. I'm going to switch this on now. Everyone ready? Oh, Jesus, that made a noise. So we won't have any chime because I haven't plugged in the speaker. So setting expectations. Let's see if we can pull this down a little bit. Of course, once we get the little rounded edges, which you won't see, I've got the geometry set to virtually fill the whole CRT. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I'm not suggesting that this person was a liar, but I do need to test for myself because, you know, you can go down the... Do I mutual? Do I mutual? Oh, Jesus. Ow! That hurt. Yeah, good fellas. Global Dental. Hello, is it dental? Sorry, I have trouble reading this screen sometimes. I ordered parts for a few Blue Scuzzy today. Cool, cool. All right, okay. Well, that one is definitely the ADB. Now, first thing I'm going to do is check and see whether I have any more of these cool little things from Kai that he made. I can't remember if he just sent me one or if he sent me a couple. If he sent me one, I'm stuffed because I've already used it. If he sent me a couple, we could be laughing. If not, I will have to get the Gerbers from him and I will make my own. Let's get this out of the way. And you could theoretically do it just by doing a whole bunch of wires, you know, but geez, that'd be ugly. Right, so this is the goodies bag I got from Kai, and I believe everything's still in here. I've got lots of PCBs. I'm going to be using those for my Flux testing video. What if we had... Oh, hello, Kai. I was just talking about you. I'm just about checking... I'm checking in my goodies bag. Remember the goodies bag you sent me? And you sent me all these really cool things, like things like this. Things like this. And this is where you have ROMs, which you can attach. Toshiba TC53100 to 27C010 adapter. See, little things like that. But another one of the things you've probably already sent me this. I just need to check. See, where am I? There we go. I'm pretty sure I have the Gerbers already. You sent them, but I need the Gerbers for the. What's the second one? I need the Gerbers for the little adapter you made for adapting the ADB chip for the ADB chip for the Classic to the SE. So you sent me one of those little adapters and I used it and it was awesome. And I now need to go and make a bunch more because it is something I'm definitely going to need to have on standby. This is the goodies bag that I got from Kai. Kai is an incredibly generous human being. Thank you very much, Kai. All these chips and things. Look at them all. What have we got there? There's one there. That's one there. That's an ADB chip right there. 342S0440. I'm sure that's it. Yeah. So cool. Bunch of what do you call these things? Egret chips here as well. So much awesome stuff there. So I am going to do an order this week for, I'll probably get maybe 10 of them done. Those little adapters, ADB and swim adapters. Yeah, okay, so, oh, look at that, he's got them up there. So that's it, guys, everyone. That is the link you want if you're in this predicament. That'll allow you to get those little PLCC ADB chips from the Classic and adapt them for the SE. And that is exactly what I'm going to have to do here. That one's got a dead ADB chip. They fail. It's common. I've had several fail. So I consider under those circumstances, I call it a common problem. If I have, you know, like 3 of something occurred at the same computer, I generally call that a common problem. So, SadMac356 is here. Hello. Joe is here. Hello. Sorry, I need some clarification on what the Joe. Hang on, what Joe? I better go back and have a look and see what Joe has said here. Joe, Bruce, stop streaming. I'm going to be streaming. Say what? Sorry, we have this issue constantly. I mean, seriously, if we think about what I sort of kind of refer to as the kind of Maciac extended family. And from my perspective, I call them the Maciac extended family because they're people I met through the Maciac team. As to whether they consider themselves part of the extended family, that's another story. But these are people that have been guests on the show, that sort of thing. And so we're talking about people like Joe, we're talking about people like Ron, you know, sort of Rudy, Javier, you know, these are all these people that we've met through this, and Trina, of course. And the problem we have, and you take all of the Maciac team, and then you take all of the extended family as well, it's really, really hard for us to live stream without stepping on each other's toes. I was going to live stream today because I didn't live stream last weekend, so I really needed to do it. But so anyhow, that's my apologies, Joe. I am sorry if I have ruined your day. Ruined. Big bad biologists, big bad bench. Hello there. People are close to being able to decode the PIC code from the ROM, ripped from the ADB M2, so I should get a really good image of the ROM area. Oh, excellent. Fizbin, hello. Right, okay. Now we've got to move on to the next repair. I mentioned before that I've got quite a few different repairs to do. No, this is not nail polish. Well, that could be, but it's not for painting nails. Now I am going to next of all have a look at, so that one's okay. We know what it is. The ADB chip needs to be replaced. That'll be done, but I can't do it now. Now I have an interesting one because this is, it was a little heavy. I have something a little bit newer than I normally work on. Namely, it is this. This is a MacBook Pro. God, look at all the gunk. Hold your ears, folks. Okay, so this is a MacBook Pro 20. This logic board is actually from a 2010, but it's sitting inside a 2011 chassis. Now, the reason for that is that the 2011 had the typical GPU issue. People who aren't aware of it, the 2011 15 and 17 inch MacBook Pros have an issue with the bonding between the chip and the case or something like that. And that's a problem you could temporarily improve by sticking it in the oven and stuff like that, but it's not a long-term solution. So, anywho, what ended up happening was a friend of mine accidentally drove over her 2010 MacBook Pro with her car. And so that completely destroyed the case, the screen and all that. But the logic board was unscathed. So I then took the logic board out of that one because she just gave it to me because she said, I can't do anything with it. It's not worth repairing. I said, thank you. So I took the logic board out. I put it in this 2011. This 2011 belongs to my cousin. Hello, Gordon. And it's been working happily ever since. He then contacted me and said, okay, he's got two problems. He can't switch it on. And nothing is coming out of the screen. So, two problems. Well, I can switch it on, not using the keyboard, which suggests to me maybe there's a problem with the keyboard, but we will test that. See what's happened to my glove? My finger's poking out of it now. I might have to replace that. I think I need to send you my Quadra 950 board. One of the SIM sockets is damaged and some light trace repair needs doing to the interrupt switches. Yep, okay, no, that's fine. You got a big enough box. Things are bloody huge. Just for anyone who is wondering what they look like, that is a Quadra 950 board. And as you can see, it's fairly big. I also have some trace damage underneath the RAM slots, which I have started working on. Essentially this was a project. It has been put on hold because I got myself a working Quadra 950. So this board is now a parts board. One day, and I mean, there are so many great parts on these things. I mean, you got all the RAM slots, you got the parts, you got all these PDS slots you've got. It has no CPU on this one. I mean, I can always stick a slow CPU in it, but this one came without a CPU. So yeah, but anyhow, so this is now a parts board. But anyhow, that's the Quadra 950 board, and that we're talking about having to ship that over from the UK. I suppose it's not that much bigger than a 2FX board, and that was the last one he sent me. So, which is now working beautifully. I think, Yes, yes, I was live streaming the repair to that 2FX board. Okay. Quadra 840 board is 4 SE30 board size. Got a 940, I know you realise what I'm saying. Spirit Walker Adventures, hello. Right. Just checking. I do indeed have a large enough box. That's excellent. Right, so let's have a look at this. We'll deal with the keyboard problem soon enough. But we've got to deal with another problem, and the problem with this is it has no backlight. So essentially I was able to start it up using a little bit of trickery. For those who aren't aware, on these boards they have little pins on them that if you touch together, if you close the circuit with a pair of tweezers or something, it works like the power on button. So I can't remember where it is on this one, but it's somewhere. Where? Somewhere. That's where. It's usually near somewhere. Where is it? These are ones where they still had labels on them. Later on, Apple just removed all the labels. So this is an 820-2849A board. Bit dusty. Needs a bit of a clean in the ultrasonic, but that's fine. Now, when you have problems with backlight, just going to change the top view here. I might send an LC475 board over. It has no sound and it's been recapped. Potentially also a 2CR logic board if I can't manage the soldering on the startup circuit. Only so much I can do without a microscope. Fair enough. No worries. Yep, no, happy to. I mean, these are the boards you're talking about here are boards that I just love working on, so I'm not going to be knocking them back. So, a reel of parts too. Okay. Wonder what parts I'll be getting. I always get excited when I get care packages from Kai. He sends me all sorts of awesome stuff. Okay, so you assembled your SE boards with no scope. Well, there are bigger parts on the SE. Okay, so what am I doing here? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Just looking around here at things. Sorry, I am distracted. I will be back. My brain will come back. It'll click back into gear in a moment. But at the moment, I'm just a tiny bit distracted. Now, a lot of these modern boards, there are schematics available and board views as well, which does make the job a lot easier when it comes to doing these sorts of repairs. So, no backlight. Generally, one of the first things we do when we've got no backlight is check for something really obvious like the fuse. And I've just got to find where the fuse is. Got no idea. No idea where the fuse is. I could look it up on the board view, but I just keep thinking it'll jump out. I'll find it. I will find it. And then eventually I'll reach the point where I just go, stuff it. I'm gonna have to open up the board view. Oh, come on, you piece of gunk. My tweezers don't meet in the middle. Oh geez, we're a bit out of focus here. Let's see if we can remedy that. Yeah, okay. They might meet in the middle now. Yes, they do. Cool. Look at that goo. You. Looking. 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 Look at all these little teeny weeny components. Mac 2 2X boards to send you to. I have to finish my Mac 2 Part 2 video first. Yes, we do want to see that. Anyone who hasn't seen that video, jump onto Apple's Anonymous and have a look at his rather impressive collection. He had this stack of Mac 2s, Mac 2 models, not just like Mac 2, Mac 2, 2X, 2FX. That was huge. My brain's really starting to hurt now. Where the bloody hell is it? Is it on the other side? Maybe it's on the other side. All right, that's it. I give up. I'm getting the frickin' board view. Getting a frickin' board view. Finder. There we go. And then we'll go here to Mac technical files. And then we'll go to, what was it again? It was 8202849. There it is, 2010. So we've got the schematic. And then we will search for the fuse. Fuse, there we go. Is that the backlight? No. G. Make safe, that's... Nope. LCD backlight. There it is. Okay, that is... Fuse is F9800. So then we're going to go in and open up the board view and find where F9800 lives. Shut up. Sorry you can't see this, but it's just a little bit of a pain to try and share the screen for this. 2849, open, 2849, 2849, 2849, and board view. And what did I say it was? F9800. Control F. Why aren't you letting me type? Prune F9800. There it is. Hello F9800. Where do you live? You live on this side, so we're on the wrong side of the board for starters, and it looks like it's around here somewhere. There he is. F9800. Sorry, I've got to change across here because at the moment I can't see anything. There we go. Get that. Ooh. Diodes. Transistors. Awesome. Common stuff. I order in bulk from Poland. I get a reel of 500 SO23 transistors, new old stock for £6. That's awesome. Awesome. Okay. Right. Okay. Enough of my silliness. So, this is taking me an absolutely ridiculous amount of time to get around to this. That is the backlight fuse. We need to check and see if the backlight fuse is okay. It's one of the first things you do. Now, typically, the fuse is fine, and it's somewhere else. But we can sometimes get lucky and it is the fuse. Now, how do I test to see if the fuse is okay? Well, you need something along the lines of a multimeter. Wonder what sort of multimeter we would use. Maybe a Kaiweets KM601 smart multimeter. Why would we use that? Because look at all of these functions. My goodness, what an amazing multimeter this is for a budget price. Where would you buy one? Well, you'll find a link in the description where you can actually go and grab one of these. Look at that beautiful big screen. Absolutely love it. And I would like to welcome Jay from the House of Moth to the Kaiweets KM601 club. He recently bought himself one and has had nothing but good things to say about it. Apart from all that bad shit he said. Okay, so there we go. So I've put it into beepity beep mode. That's continuity mode where I touch the probes together and I get a bit. Now, we're going to put this on the fuse here and we're going to just test it. The fuse is blown. Why are we so lucky? The fuse is blown. Okay, that's good. It's good that the fuse is blown. Why the hell did the fuse blow? Let's see if we can find out. We'll start off looking at the display connector. So here is the display connector. He doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Let's have a look inside the display connector. Ooh. Got some carbon scoring here. Looks like you guys have seen a lot of action. I don't know if you can see it, but there's blackening and melting there. I can bring it down a bit. Can you just see there? It's hard, really hard for me to show, but what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 along from the right there. See that's melted? That ain't good. That ain't good at all. Okay, the rest look all right. These are all data lines, so no real issue with that. But over here, this side, is the whatever it is, 50 something volt backlight. It's cool the way it's nice and close to all those data ones. So that's probably going to have to try and replace that display connector. Let's now have a look at the computer itself, because if that's scorched, so could the plug be also as well too. Oh God, that's heavy. All right, it's one of the things that I do when I'm working on these. I put a little bit of Captain tape around the connectors when I'm, when I'm working on other things, just to try and protect the plug. Oh, I really don't want to have to replace this plug, and I mean that most sincerely, because in order to replace the plug, I will need to open up the screen, and the liquid crystal screen at the top, and it is, it's stuck together with adhesive. So you've got to heat it, you've got to get the glass off without breaking it, and it's not good. So what I am going to do, I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to hopefully not have to replace this. It's damaged, I can see it's damaged. I am going to replace the display connector on the board, because that is something I can do nice and easily, or easily-ish, if that's a word. And let's see if we can find a donor. So I've got to find a donor board that has a display connector on it, which looks like this. You can buy new ones of these, but I don't keep these sorts of things in stock because, well, why would I? I don't do this sort of stuff. I only do this for family. Okay. Donors. Donuts. I love some donuts. Bum. Way too small. I'm sure I have some 17-inch donor boards. I'm hoping they'll be the same connector. Maybe 2009 ones. See, that's, what is that, 15? That's a 15. That's all together. Oh, hang on. Where's the... Huh? Yeah, that's the wrong size connector. Goodbye to you. Oh, God. Oh, that's the sound an old person makes. Pulling out the donor. These all look like 13 inches. They're going to have tiny, weeny little connectors. Yep. One after the other. Miscellaneous. That's another way of pronouncing useless. Oh, these look like bigger boards. Yes. Oh, that looks like it's a good match, actually. Oh, I've got two of them. What's the state of these? Let's have a look. Okie dokie. Whoa. Keyboard down. Okay. I'll just try not to step on the keyboard. So, let's have a look. This one here. That one's not too bad. I don't like the bow on that one. That's no good. So, if he is indeed the same, and he may not be, but if he is indeed the same, he could be a good candidate. But I just don't know. It's very hard to tell. Let me just see if it's the same width. Maybe a sec. What's going on, Jay? What's going on? What's you've got clearly objecting to something that I'm doing. is what he does, because he can't talk. I don't know, I just measure it. I don't want to do it. He's probably there about to say, you can't replace that component from that board. It's not the same. He's probably going to say that. He knows this stuff better than I do, because he does more of this stuff. What is going on here? Battery's flat. That's what's going on. So I have to do this without the battery. All right, so there is one measurement. I'm going to measure that. Is that? It is the same size. Well, the easiest way to check is to just see if the connector plugs into it, isn't it? So this is my donor board. Oh, I've got a super chat here. $10 from... I'm not going to try and pronounce Annex. How about that? Classic super drive cleaned. All mechanics are good. No disk can be read. How to troubleshoot. Okay. Now, what you will probably find the fault is the zero head alignment. Now, what I would invite you to do is to jump onto Tinker Different. There is a person has created a guide, and I'm going to do a video of this, by the way. I haven't done it yet, but I am going to do a video of it. I created a guide of how you can adjust the zero track alignment on those drives. That's the first thing I'll do. There are still lots of other things that could be a problem. The heads could be damaged. The heads could be misaligned. Something could have been bent. The heads may not be touching the disc properly, all that sort of stuff. But the one thing you could do is try the zero track alignment. So let me see if I can find the link to it and pop it in the chart. Keyboard. I have to go down and get the keyboard. So, I need to mention, while I've got all these people watching, all these good, kind folks watching, I mentioned this at the beginning of the chat. A lot of people probably weren't here at that time. I have a Patreon now. If anyone, there's no pressure, but if you... Oh, I think my battery's finally going flat. I think my battery is finally going on the old Kaiweets. I'll have to keep getting new batteries. So, do a mashup of Star Wars and Goodfellas quotes while I'm gone. Okay. Yes, so I've totally forgotten where I was going. Oh yes, I have a Patreon. No pressure, no one needs to support me or anything, but if you feel compelled, if you feel you want to, there's a link in the description of how you can support me via Patreon. So I just want to mention that to everyone. Again, no pressure. What am I doing? I am trying to find Tinker Different and trying to find this guide. I can at least then set you in the right direction for trying something. If this doesn't work, you may never get it working, but it's certainly the next thing to try. We are going to go search zero. No, how about we go search? It's in the documents where it's in resources. That's it. Disk system calibration technique. Zero track alignment 1. There we go. I've contacted this guy and just told him I think this is awesome. So I'm just going to copy this. I'll paste it into the chat. You have to click the download button in the corner. Oh, he's beaten me to it. Yeah, he's beat me to it. That's the guide there. Oh, thank you very much, Kai. I appreciate that. If you go to that guide, it's a little PDF there. You press the download button in the top right hand corner. It's my job to move that download button, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But at the moment, the download button is in the top right hand corner. If you download that PDF file, it will show you this guy's Paolo, I assume is his name, pronunciation of his name. He has come up with this rather awesome way of doing a zero track alignment. It's work of genius, and I'm going to do a video of it. It's so bloody good. I asked him if that was okay, and he said, yes, yes, yes. It's public domain. Do with it what you will. Okay, so this connector, are you the same? One of these things is not like the other. One of these connectors is not the same. Right. So, this looks like it wants to fit. It looks like it wants to fit. But will it? God, is it damaged or is it just not right? Oop. 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 Yep. We've got the right sort of connector, so that's fantastic. That fits. It fits a treat. We love treats. So, I'm going to try and take this connector off, solder it on the other board. Can you measure continuity on the heads on a super drive? That's a good question. Oh, I have no idea. I've never tried. Okay, all right. Once again, thank you very much, Annex, for the super chat. I do hope that that is of help to you, that alignment guide. Right, now, when we want to get a connector off like this, I'm going to change to the top view. I can just go in and smash this with some hot air, and you know what's going to happen? This will melt. There's plastic in there, no good at all. So what we have to do is we have to get a little bit tricky with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hang this off the edge of the desk, which you now can't see because the camera's not pointed there. Hanging this off the edge of the desk, I'll get a little clamp to hold it in position so it doesn't fall off. And then I am going to apply heat from the underside. Until that melts, and then or the solder melts, and I can lift it off. Now I could of course do it with my hot plate, but that's too much of a hassle to get that out. So just going to get some flux. I'm going to put some flux on it. What flux will we use today? Got to get rid of more of this old V2 that I don't like. Okay, I'll just change to this view here because you really can't see anything there. Taking the other one off is a lot easier. I'm going to heat it from the other side because I don't care what happens to it. It can die, it's fine, I'm fine with that. And no, it doesn't have a pine scent. We got another one. Annex again. Recap the classic analog rule. Can I submerge it to clean, e.g. flyback? I have done that plenty of times. Just keep in mind with things like the transformer, they can hold a lot of water, so you want to make sure that is super dry. And of course, you've got to take the speaker off. So the speaker is held on with little rivets. You just need to get a drill out those rivets, have some good replacement rivets or some bolts to put it back in, depending on what you want. But you will need to desolder because the speaker is actually soldered on. It's not a connector like it is on the earlier ones. So you've got to desolder the wires for the speaker, drill out those rivets, take the speaker off. Yes, you can submerge it. I have done it many times before, but as I say, you've got to make sure you are going to get that really dry, really good and dry. Let it dry for a day or something like that before you then use it. Got to get into the enclosure of the flyback. Maybe remove the flyback. Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but as I say, I have done it, and it was successful. In actual fact, I ended up having a board which didn't work, ultrasonicked it, and then it did work. So it was clearly some gunk, some leftover fluid somewhere causing some chaos. We've got a lot of people advising against it, so I'm not going to dispute that. It probably isn't a good idea, but I have done it. So the same several times. So we're waiting to just get this hot. This takes a lot longer to do something like this because you've got to get the whole board hot. The whole board's got to get really hot so that it's hot enough to transfer that heat through onto the other side. I'm not even getting any smoke yet, so it's nowhere near hot enough. Once you start to get the smoke from the flux, and we know we're getting close. Rivets. 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 Okay, well, we have the word there from Kai. So our recommendation would be, if you are going to submerge it, whip that flyback off first, and maybe even a transformer as well. This is taking for ages. Getting really bored now. Anyone seen any good films? Cool, so Luke is another one who has submerged the analog board. Come on. I've got a sneaking suspicion my hot air station is starting to lose some of its oomph. I might need to get a new... what the hell is that? Oh, my connector just came off. I'm obviously massacring the other side of this, but I don't care. I'm really sorry I can't show you this when I can, but the next thing you know, if I move that camera there, we'll be staring at my crotch, and that's not good for anyone. Come on. I'll crank up the temperature. Temp. That's the hottest I can go. Oh, 500 degrees Celsius. Let's try that. Yeah, we're starting to get some smoke. She's coming. That was on there. Okay. Are you using the A10? No, I'm not. I'm actually using a quick 861DW. It's a great hot air station, but the A10 is as good. The A10 and the A10 has the ability to actually blow cold air just with a button, which I think is actually a really nifty little feature. This one does not have. So, but having said that, when I bought this one, the A10 wasn't available, so it's not like, you know, I made the wrong decision. Oy. Right, now where's the good board? Here's the good board. Let's get this old connector off. And this one I will just do from this side because I really don't care if it gets massacred. It's fine. So anyhow, look, if I were to be buying a hot air station today, I would buy the E10. No questions asked. Can't remember what I have in my links down the bottom. So when it comes to removing this little connector, it's not just these pins that need to be melted. This whole section here, this is all soldered on here. So that's all got to get melted. I need to grab the fuse as well, don't I? That's so much easier doing it from this side. I can see it giving already. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Right, now we're going to use some of this different flux. How about that one? No, that connector was not important. That connector is a dead connector, and we want him gone. The Atomic Cafe. 82? 82? Boop, 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 boop. Whoopsie. If I can get this one working, I would be very happy. I have been keeping, this is a computer that I have invested a lot of time in. As I mentioned before, this belongs to my cousin. Hello, Gordon. And he has kids. And they have not been kind to this laptop over the years. I'll never forget one day he was telling me how in such incredibly good condition this laptop was, how so well looked after it was, you know. So, and I said, Gordo, you're going to want to have a close look at this. And I showed him all these dings and how mangled it was on one side and everything. It was like, the thing was an absolute mess. And his jaw dropped. He was just like, I wonder how that happened. Oh dear, that's the joys of youngsters, isn't it? Okay, now let's have a look at this connector that I liberated from that other board and see what sort of condition we're in here. I managed to pull off a few pads with it by the looks of it, so we'll just need to do a little bit of tidying up. I pulled a couple of capacitors off by the looks of it. A capacitor and a resistor. There's a capacitor. Fairly well. At the Cold War bomb test and scare. Okay, so it's sort of, is it a documentary or is it a? Because I really want to watch something fictional. I want to watch something that is a story, as opposed to something which is kind of like a true doco or something like that. I like a bit of fictional hokum. Whoopsie. Do. Been struggling to find good movies lately, you know. So much garbage. Bang! Sorry. Trying to scare a pigeon. Just cleaning this up. I want this to be able to sit nice and flush on the board. So any of this melty stuff, I just want to get out of the way. Sorry, I'm so quiet. Take a concentration. Has anyone here seen Moon Knight? I saw the trailer for it the other day and it looked interesting. Just curious to see if anyone has watched it. Whether they think it's good, funny, exciting, worth watching. How was the wine and dine? It was bloody awesome, Nate. Thank you very much. So I mentioned this just at the beginning of the live stream. So last weekend I wasn't able to stream because I was in an event. It's an event called the Graveyard Launch. It is brought to you by the fine people at Broken Wood Wineries at the Hunter Valley. And which is, you know, about 2 hours north from where I am. It's about a 2 hour drive to get there from here. Pretty easy drive too, to be honest. And so I'm just going to need to get a little tiny bit of solder on this here, won't be a sec. So basically what happened is we went up there on the Friday, went and had lunch at a winery called Gartelman's up in the Hunter there. It's one of my favourites. I do love their wines. Beautiful Semillons. It's a very good Semillon region up there. Some of the best Semillons in the country come from the Hunter Valley, so there you go. And I don't even know how I'm going to do this. It's not going to work. That's not going to work because I can't hot air it. So we're not going to do that. Got up the Friday, had lunch. Then we went and had, sort of unpacked the cars, you know, sort of, because we got up there before check-in time. Then we went to a tasting at Broken Wood, just a little private tasting, which was nice. We know a lot of the staff there quite well, so we have nice chats and laughs and all that sort of things and such and things. And then we had, what do we have for dinner? Oh, that's right. We went down to the pub, the local hotel down at the place we were staying, and had some nice. I'd been eating all day, so I didn't actually eat much. I had, I can't remember. Chips. That's right. Just had a bowl of chips. And then in the morning we got up. We were ready by 11, and we get picked up at 11 a.m. Taken to the Broken Wood Winery. You know, you get your little pass and everything, and you get in there, and then they just start throwing wine at you, just constantly. Just, here's a glass. Oh, okay. Is that empty? Let's fill it up. Oh, is that empty? Let's fill it up. And they come around to start off with some pate, and they had some dolmades, and then we went inside. You get a whole bunch of different wines to taste from different years. Wines match with the food. It's a three-course meal, but with lots of little bits and pieces. So almost like a degustation sort of thing. And then there's some entertainment. Comedian comes up, gives a bit of a bit of a laugh, and then they have a wine guessing competition. And then they have a competition where you get keys and then you have to open up a safe, and if you open it up, you win these things. So anyhow, it was awesome, absolutely awesome, just really awesome, awesome. Okay, now let's start getting this thing stuck on. I'm going to solder that one there. Solder that one there. Okay, so they're the two main ones holding us down. And then we need to get a little bit of solder into here as well. I want to make sure this plate is soldered at the back. So we will just get some. Come on. I'm using the stinky Flux at the moment. Why? Okay, now we need to do the little fine stuff, and for that, I might get my little micro pencil. SE30 power's on and seems to be working good. Just one pick of flashing question mark, and they want $879 US. Wow! So the secret for everyone is, if you ever get an opportunity to get an SE30 for cheap, take it. It is still one of the most worked on computers that I get. I get more SE30s. SE30 and Color Classic, they're the two main computers that I work on. Yeah, let's get that out of our lap. Good. I like it. I like it. Yeah, postage out of the US to Australia is extremely expensive. It's not too bad in the other direction. This isn't hot enough. We're doing it. I really could have used the big iron for this. I didn't need to use the micro pencil. Just saying. It makes me feel special. Bloody pigeons. So I mentioned before that I'm going to be doing a video on reviewing different types of flux. Because one of the things I need to do, I need to go out and get myself some lead-free solder. I don't use lead-free solder, but some of these fluxes are designed specifically for lead-free solder. So in the interest of doing a thorough review, I have to get some lead-free solder. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So is so much cheaper than from the US. Yeah, just call me nuts here, but I just always feel like it shouldn't be that expensive to export stuff. You know, it's in the interest of a country to be selling or to be sending stuff to another country, if it's being sold, that is. You know, different if it's a gift, but if you are selling products overseas, it sort of makes sense to make the postage not too bad, because, you know, it brings in money for the economy. But maybe I'm oversimplifying things, as I often do. Okay, just make sure we've got no bridges, particularly down this end, because this is the end with the backlight, high power backlight stuff and things. Look inside this connector and just make sure this one doesn't look too bad. Should have done that before, of course, we realised that, but I didn't. This one looks good. No melties. No melties on this one. Bears off! Sorry. Pigeons. The sun's shining on my face now. Nice to have the sun shining though. It's getting a bit nippy here in Sydney at the moment. I've got to say, it is cold at the moment. Got an SE30 on eBay for 110 back in 2012. Yeah, you know, it's interesting because, you know, I just look at some of the things that I bought and they just seem like ridiculous these days. So the SE30 I got as a trade. So the SE30 I traded with someone. But see, like my Color Classic that I got, I picked that up for, I think, $250 or something like that. 250 Australian dollars. At the time, I thought I paid too much for it, but boy, can't find it for 250 anymore. Stupid fat fingers. Not as cold as Melbourne at the moment, I'm sure. But you are significantly more south than we are. Last SE30 I got was $40. Last one. Got lucky, yeah. Well, you know, you can get lucky because there are sometimes people that have these in the cupboard. They've got no idea what they're worth. They're not worth anything to them. And they're like, yeah, I've got this old computer in the cupboard and I don't know if it's worth anything or useful to anyone. You know, can someone give me $50 for it? And people go, yeah, yeah. I picked a broken one up. The most recent SE30 I bought, I picked up broken. And I got it for, I think it was 300 Australian dollars delivered. That's off. I fixed it, of course, and I sold it. But yeah, I consider myself pretty lucky getting it for $300. Not working. I have 8 SE30s, 2 working. I'll be selling the other 6 on Tinker Different only for fixed low prices, £250. Once I've done the board transfer. Wow. Gosh, Kai, gosh. Cornered the market on SE30s. At the end of the day, I would like another one, but I have one, and I just don't want to be greedy. Just want other people to be able to have them as well. Same, there you go, the fact that you're selling them. Okay, now we need to replace the fuse. So let's see if we can find the fuse on this other board. Is this the one that I massacred? Nope, that's not it, but it's the same sort of board by the look of it. Where's the one I massacred? May as well take the part from the one that I massacred. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Can anyone see where I put it? Ah, up here. So let's see if we can find the fuse on this one. It's the same. The backlight drivers on these are all the same, so I can just basically take the fuse from one and use it on the other. It will be, let's see, where's the, that's where the connector was, so it will probably be down here somewhere. And you know, how long will I look for before I give up and go to the schematic? It should be easy to find. It's got a big P on it. P for pews. I want to fix it. I want to fix it. I love fixing SE30s. Love getting them working again. I've got one, hopefully coming to me in the not too distant future. People may or may not remember, a year ago, it got sent to me here in Australia from Joe. Circumstances prevented me from getting it as quickly as I would have liked, but I am aiming to get hold of it very soon, and then we can see if we can fix that one. The interesting thing about this one that's being sent to me, it has already had a whole stack of trace repairs done to it by Joe, and so it's going to be an interesting project in that regard. Where's the pews? Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Gonna have to freaking look it up. So this board is, by the way, everyone here who is hoping to see me do vintage computer stuff, I do apologise. I mean, I know I'm still fixing things, but you know, may not necessarily be what people want. Boop, boop, boop. Mind you, I haven't fixed anything today so far, have I? Is that it there? Nope. So these boards all have a code on them, but the code's not always in the same place. So I often spend a lot of time hunting around trying to find the code. I have just found it. This is an 8202915. 8202915. 8202915. I have to fix my television set today. That's what I'm going to do next. Up. 8202915. There it is. This is a 2011 board. And we'll search for a fuse. Fuse. Is this the backlight? LCD backlight. There it is. So we are looking at. Come on. So we'll just check and make sure it is the same. It is a 3 amp 32 volts compared to a 3 amp 32 volt. There you go. And it is F9700. Will I remember that? 2915. My watch is telling me to stand up. 2915. Board view. F9700. Control F. Oh, stop being an owl. F9700. Where is you? There you is. Okay, so that's not where I expected it to be. So, fair enough. And that is there. There. There it is. P for Puse. Maybe it's PHUSE. Fuse. That could be it. Can't read the chat because it's too hard to read. There we go. Let's try it now. Okay. I prefer an SE with a Super rather than an SE30. That was a year ago, yeah, I know. Oh, hey, Jay. I think Jay's just letting us know he's still there. He's working away. If anyone's wondering what Jay is doing, Jay is working away on a Xserve power supplies, fixing them up, making them. Oh God, let's just check to see if this one works, shall we? Oh no, I've lost the lead. Oh no. Oh no. There it is. Okay. Let's go to beepity beep mode. This is definitely telling me it's time to replace the batteries. It's done well. Good. Fuse is good. Everyone can relax. Let's take him off now. So, yeah, so he's working on, he's recapping some Xserve power supplies. He's basically decided that while I stream, he'll keep recapping. So, whoopsie, let's not break this. Melt. Oh, that took some doing. I really should have taken the old one off first, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? Is that what I should have done? The old one is over here somewhere. Somewhere. Can't remember where. There it is. F9800. I better take the fan off. I reckon. So let's just get this. Put it somewhere where I don't lose it, like maybe there. Oops, lost it. Oh, beepity beep lost its beep. You can't have that. You can't have a beepity beep without a beep. Let's take this fan off. It would be the height of laziness for me to leave it on and then melt it. I swear these pigeons, man. Frickin' pigeons. Oh wow, look at the dust in that. Fluffy. Fluffy. That's quite extraordinary. Right. Oh, will you guys piss off? Go. Have I got an elastic band or something I can throw at this thing? Hang on. I'm going to throw this at it. Where is it? I think I broke it. The thing I threw, that is, not the pigeon. Okay. All right. There it is. Let's get a little bit of my stinky V2 Flux. The one that smells of terpene. For those playing at home. These boards are essentially heat sinks. That's why there's often quite difficult to get components off them. These black boards dissipate an incredible amount of heat. Not to mention the fact that they're also using what's it called, lead-free solder, so it's got a high melting point. So getting things off these boards can sometimes be a real headache. Slowly working on clearing your desk again. Yeah, I've given up on that. No, I will do it one day, I promise. I'm going to throw a knife next time. I should, of course, just shut the door, but I like having the ventilation. I like having the door open and a bit of fresh air coming in. So, yeah. What can I say? What can I say? God, I can hear some really loud music coming from somewhere. Someone's having a party. Cock. It flew away. Where'd it go? I don't think it's on the board. I hate it when this happens. I mean, I can grab another one. I can grab another one. But I don't want to. I'm so annoyed. Bugger. Ultra wide monitor from someone at work. Oh wow, cool. Yeah. Hi Jay. Just a second. Oh no, that's fine. Something freaked me out there for a minute. Okay, let's grab another one. Dumbass. So stupid. Let's check that this one, this fuse is okay. It got to be on that side, so over here somewhere. Sorry, I've forgotten again. I've forgotten again already where the fuse is on this one. It's on the side with the connector. That's right. It's on that one. Yeah, it's over there. Okay, cool. Found it. Okay, let's check and see. I just had it. There it is. There it is. All right, let's try that again. This time with feeling. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, now this time, we're not going to lose it. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick some leaded solder in here to try and lower the temp. Maybe make it a little easier to get off. Anyone else feel like we've been here before? This time, people, this time will be better. Now I'm getting violent with the pigeons. You will rue the day you ever crossed me. Whew. All right. I love working with a hot iron, to be honest. Hot air station, just like the intro to soldering. Would love to learn the tricks. Yeah, well, okay, so the next video, I've already started working on it. The next video is actually a beginner's guide to surface mount soldering. And in that one, it goes a lot more into the hot air station side of things. So that is coming. As I say, I've already shot quite a bit of footage for that. I just need to do an intro and a few other bits and pieces. But it is coming. Yes, sir. All right, so we're going to test this now. I might just blow the fuse again. So I had this in smart mode, which is why that took so long to beat. Smart mode ain't too smart. He ain't smart. Not smart like I'm smart. I'm not very smart. Especially when I lose fans all the time. I mean these sorts of fans. Not the wonderful people who watch my show. God. Starting to lose it today, I feel. Gradually losing my mind. Now, I don't have the car today, so if I want lunch, I've got to go out and walk or make it here or something. I've got a quiche in the freezer. I might have a quiche for lunch today. I do need to, I'm very tempted to go for a walk up to the little local electronics place and grab some lead-free solder so that I'm all ready for doing my Flux video. Does it have a PTC heater control in the transducer control boards? I don't think so. Almost certainly not, I would say. I haven't seen anything like that at all. Interestingly enough, I think I've mentioned this in one of my live streams before. I have, with the benefit of hindsight, this is certainly not how it was originally, but with the benefit of hindsight, given the amount of money that I've spent on this ultrasonic cleaner, it probably would have made sense for me to buy a 30-litre ultrasonic cleaner and pull the guts from that and then just stick them to this different size tank rather than buying the separate transducers and drivers. I have an issue at the moment where the company who I'm buying stuff from now, I'm using their drivers but not their transducers. And of course it's very easy for them to turn around and say you're having problems because you're using cheap transducers. But the process of actually, if I removed all of them and then put new ones on, it would be an absolute nightmare. And I just want to say hello to Jay. Donating here because you forgot to advertise Patreon in the last hour, so I forgot you had it. So, shout out to Jay from the House of Moth. He was officially my very first Patreon patron. I started my Patreon page yesterday. Well, in truth, I created a Patreon account about 2 years ago. And one of the first things you have to do is you have to decide the different tiers. And I stared at the different tiers for like about half an hour going, what am I gonna offer people? I've got no idea. And I have now, since then, I have gone back and had a look at it and I've gone, yep, I think there are a few things that I can potentially offer. Like drunk live streams, swearing live streams. So I'm going to make some exclusive content. Let's have a look. And thank you very much from Annex again. Super drives fixed stacks. I fixed 4 assembly line style, 2 removable worm geek, 2 fixed. Dog you gave was a clue that I may have swapped the parts, just exchange them and they both work. Ah, look at that. So the alignment was out from one on the other. So that's excellent. That's fantastic. That is a really, really good outcome. I'm so pleased to hear that. So, yeah. Max and Moscato. Hello, Dana. How are you today? This is Dana, the Nanoraptor. For those of you who may or may not know of her work, absolutely fantastic stuff. The Max that never were, those sorts of illustrations, absolutely fantastic. And of course, one of the things that I love the most is when someone posts one of Dana's pictures on Facebook or something like that, and people go, "Is that real? Did that really exist?" And I sort of think to myself, well done, Dana. All right, so we're going to test this now. I'm going to connect it up. I still have a few concerns. This connector here on the monitor side of things is not the best. So we're just going to, thanks again, Annex, for that super chat, much appreciated. So we'll just go here to the top view. This connector here, which you can't see, this connector here is a little bit iffy, and I am concerned that that could cause problems. But we have got a much nicer connector at this end now. So we're going to connect this up, and we're going to see if we get a picture. Won't connect much stuff up, just the power and the display. What are you doing in there? It's like pigeons humping or something like that. Okay. Display. That's our, what's his name? Tim Apple, Tim Cook. We're very happy with our studio display. Sorry, I don't do a very good impression of him, but this is got so much flux and stuff in here, and gunk. It's not ideal. I think I might need to clean this out. What do you think? Yeah, I think I better clean it out. I'm going to have to take it out again. I just need a temporary clean. It doesn't have to be super clean. And for that, I'm going to use some of this spray stuff. Sorry about the sunlight beaming in. So it's wreaking havoc with the lighting in here. There's not much I can do about it. There's no blind or anything there. Just not used to seeing the sun here these days. Oh, I got a super sticker. Ron is here. Hello, Ron. Smiling face with heart eyes. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, see, this is the software that I use. It isn't actually able to show the pictures. It just gives verbal descriptions of what the stickers are. Which is kind of annoying. I hope they fix that one day, but the fact that they haven't yet suggests to me that it's perhaps a little bit challenging. So, just a little recap for anyone who is just joining. I have a 2010, essentially, MacBook Pro here. And it had no backlight. And so I have found that there was some ugliness in the connector, so I replaced the connector. And I also found that the fuse was blown, so I replaced the fuse. Now, if this, of course, could just end up blowing another fuse. We know that. I could plug this in, fire it up, and bang, fuse gone. These are the risks we take in this line of work. Okay, get that in there nice and snug. This, of course, is going to get ultrasonically cleaned before I, assuming, of course, it works. There's no real guarantee of that. We're just going to leave a lot of these connectors out. Not connect up the keyboard or anything like that. As soon as I connect power to this, it will fire up. This is a 17-inch. You need to make sure you have the powerful, what do you call those things? Power supply. You need the strong ones. You can't just use the weak ones. Come on, come out. Okay, so I'm not going to connect any of these things up for the moment. I'm just going to get them out of the way. And we'll connect up some power, and then we'll just see whether the screen gets all screeny on us. Hello. Hello, screen. Right, let's see if we can, see if we can find a plug. Here's the power supply. I just got to follow the plug from the power supply. There it is. There it is. I see it. It's this way. I every now and again like to look at photos of back when this desk used to be clean. Brings me joy. Okay, so we're gonna open them up. Now, of course, this could just go pop. I won't be too surprised if it does. Here we go. Okay, fan spin, which means from Rossmann it's fixed. Fan's going like nuts now because, well, they just stopped. It just switched off. Let's connect a few more things here so that I might be able to hear if it chimes. I know that some of these things, if they're not connected up, it gets upset. It thinks it automatically thinks bad things. Bloody pigeons. Hard drive, connect the hard drive to it. That's what, I don't know what that is. That's speaker, so you can at least hear if it goes joing. Okay, don't need that. Connecting it anyway. Don't need that, surely. I do want to connect the keyboard though. Got one. Wonder if that's going to keep it away for a little while. Okay. All right, so I've got a few more things plugged in here now. I don't need to worry about that. Don't think I'll worry about that. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens this time. Okay, fan spin. No chime. Oh, there's a chime. I can hear the hard drive spinning, so we don't seem to be having any picture here. So still don't have any backlight by the looks of it. I'm just trying to see whether I've got any video here at all. Ah, I can see a. Okay, so we definitely don't have backlight. So we're getting an image, but we're not getting backlight. So I'll be interested to see if that fuse is blown again. Gonna let it finish starting up, just to keep it happy. Possible that the cable is dead. It is very, very possible the cable is dead. They're back already. Okay. Stupid Twitter. Okay, so yeah. So just if anyone's curious about how these backlights work, they're actually quite nifty. So they have a row of LED lights. I think they might be at the top and at the bottom. I can't remember, but they're either just at the bottom or at the top and the bottom. And then they, just going to see if the power button switches this off, because that'll tell me whether the keyboard's working or not. And the keyboard appears to not be working. And then basically what they have is a sheet of plastic with lots of tiny weeny little holes in them. And the holes, they're quite far apart when it's close to the LED light, and they get closer together as it gets further away from the LED light. So when the LED light shines up sideways on that piece of plastic, the little dots, they're like little stochastically placed dots, almost like an inkjet printer prints dots. And those dots reflect the light outwards, and then it just has a diffuser, and then you end up with this solid white background. It's very, very nifty the way it works. It works the same in a phone. Unless, of course, you have a OLED, an LED one. They're different. Hard drive's still spinning away. I just don't want to switch it off while the hard drive's still spinning away. How many girls think about something? It is really thinking hard. It is highly likely that I am going to need to replace the display cable on this one. I really don't want to have to do that. That is just like about the last thing I want to do. Wrecked it instead. What? You wrecked the MacBook Air? Was it 11 inch or 13 inch? Just out of curiosity, what year model was it? That's the one that I had in my hands. God, they got guts. I'm not waiting any longer. Sorry. Right, so let's whip him out. We've got a couple of things that we might want to try and do here. We could, of course, have a fried backlight driver. We hope that's not the case, but we could have. It's not the end of the world having to replace that if we have to, but, But the main thing I want to check and see at this stage is that fuse still intact? Because if that fuse is still intact, that's a good sign. If it has popped already, then we know we've got a fault that still exists somewhere. Oh, that's right, this is this stupid plug. Don't you do this to me. Okay. Bing, 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 bing. Right. So, we're going to have... Oh, yeah, sorry, I need to check the fuse. That's on this side, and that's just there. And we'll just turn the multimeter on again. There we go. And yep, fuse is baked. So fuse immediately blew. I'm going to see if there is any evidence of some charring in the connector to see whether it's the same problem. And then we might have to have a look at that connector, and then, yeah, potentially looking at the driver. So, just got to get this microscope and have a look-see. This is turning into a bloody boring repair, isn't it? Okay, so there's no charring there, which is good. Bloody dirty in there. I really do need to sonically clean this. Okay, let's leave that there for the moment. Let's have a look at the connector, because I really am concerned about this connector. But I so don't want to have to replace it. See that ugliness? I mean, it really should be replaced. Do I have a spare? I ask you. You don't have to answer that. Now, is this the one that got driven on by a car? I'll know in a second. Yes, it is. So this poor little MacBook Pro, big MacBook Pro, got driven over. And it's never been the same. So, what's the connector like on this one? Freaking pristine. All right, let's think about what it takes to remove this, and then we'll make a decision as to whether. I don't care what I do to this one. I could wreck it. The screen's cracked. It doesn't matter about what happens to the screen. It's the high-res screen too. This one. I don't know if you guys are aware that this had. These I think were available in two different screen types. There was the anti-glare one like this, which I think was actually a higher res, and then there was the shiny with the glossy one. I have always liked the glossy one, but I seem to be in the minority. Most people seem to like the anti-glare. I suppose we could actually just try this display, because even though it's cracked, it'll still have a... Oh, it's not going to work now because the fuse is blown. What year is the MacBook Pro? This one here that's in pieces is a 2010. That one there is the chassis of a 2011 with a logic board of a 2010. Okay, so I could replace the fuse and then try this one. But at the end of the day, that connector needs to be replaced, so I'm going to replace it anyway. We're going to just pull this apart. I need to get to these things, so let's get a screwdriver. There we go. So we've got that there, and we got that there. We need to get one of my, I can't remember which size it is. Oh, that seems close. I can send you a 2010 display if required. Wow, that's very generous of you. Actually, you know what? I have got an absolute bucket load of spare parts for MacBook Pros. Now, I don't have something as big as a screen, but I might have the connector. Let's have a look. Let's have a look in the boxes. Won't that be fun? I just made the mistake you're not supposed to make. You're supposed to actually open it a little bit before you unscrew. It makes life a lot easier. So what you should do is you undo, like, you know, sort of two from each side, and just keep one plugged in, and then you just undo the last one. There we go. Right. So let's move this to there. And then we'll get this little guy. Off he comes. He just slides sideways and then comes off. And then we've got that there. So that's a little display connector cable just here. But you have to undo it from the other side. And regrettably, in order to do that, this crap has to come apart. Now, because I really don't care what happens to this board, or to this display, that may not be too difficult. If anyone doesn't like cruelty to these displays, look away, look away. Yeah, sorry, I was just burning myself there. See, one of the things with these is because they're made of aluminium, if you bend them, it's almost impossible to get them bent back into shape, and this one is bent. So I just don't think there's anything salvageable from this one. So I'm just melting it with impunity. Check to see if there's short on the fuse with and without the connector inserted. You know, I'm getting all of this useful advice, and I'm just ignoring it. It's terrible, isn't it? Camera's probably good. So, we have to unscrew some screws. I think I haven't done one of these in such a long time. I hope I'm remembering it right. If I'm not, what's the worst that's going to happen? I have to take this plastic off, don't I? It's all coming back to me now. I think I have to take this plastic off. I just have this vague recollection of having to take plastic off. But I could be completely wrong. There's probably people in the chat who know, and I'm just not reading it at the moment. Ah, yeah. Okay, it's underneath the rubber bit. 2 more screws. Anyone who's been screaming at the screen to say, you have to take the rubber bit off, I want to offer you a personal apology. As you may or may not have noticed, I am not really showing the sort of care that I might with other things today, or on this thing. Okay, now I should be able to feed that up a bit, yeah, and then I can get to the connector, which is just here, covered in plastic. Prune. Yay! And the crowd goes wild as we get a connector. Now, I promised that we would look through some boxes, and we will find out whether that whole exercise was a complete waste of time. All right. Boxes. Trackpad, MacBook Pro. What have we got in here? Oops. Oh, that's right. I do need that though. Better pick that up. Can't be without my scalpel. My trusty scalpel. All right, what have we got in here? We have lots of trackpads. And more trackpads. And trackpads. Trackpads. And some more trackpads. And a trackpad. And some screws for trackpads. What's that? Screws for trackpads. Okay. That's what we have in that box. The trackpad. There's another box over there as well. What's in this one? Okay, we've got a speaker. That's a little MagSafe connector for a MacBook Pro 2010, 2015. There's a CD-ROM drive. Don't know what that is. Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something. It's a drive connector. Another MagSafe board. Another drive connector. Another CD-ROM. That's a thing. And another thing, CD-ROM. Got ourselves some, these look like they're for iMacs, I think. Right. Okay, alright. These are fun little boxes, aren't they? Right, and then I've got one more box, and we'll see what's in that. Okay, I have to move for that though, because it's all the way over here. Come on. Oops, something fell down. Crikey. Oh, crikey. Okay, let's have a look at this one. We've got things. More things. MacBook Pro hard disk drive sleep cable. Speaker things. What are these? These look like they're out of something much bigger than a MacBook Pro. They're iMac or something older. That's a little Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something. That looks like a display connector, but not for this. MagSafe connector, I/O board, what in heaven's name is that? That's off a display. Display something. It's cool, whatever it is. Display, okay. Some miscellaneous. A lot of this iMac stuff. Okay. Oh, never mind. It was worth a try. Wouldn't you say? Don't you find? Alright. That was a fun little aside. Now we have to start thinking about what to do next. Do I even want to keep working on this? It's starting to piss me off. I do like the idea of checking for shorts. I'm going to have to get some new batteries for this. The screen's getting really dim. 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 So, essentially what we wanted to do I don't have a good one to compare against. What a pain in the bummer. I've taken the fuse off these. I suppose I can still check though, can't I? These have got holes in them. Okay. Now I definitely do think we have a short here. Let's have a look and see. Schematic time. Keep going, Bruce. I have a PSU with serious trace damage, so need to be here a while. Okay, cool. You need to help me though. What is it? Brinkish goes, Joe is correct. The GPU is notoriously faulty. In the 2011 it was. Yeah. This is 2010. So the 2011 15-inch and 17-inch had all sorts of problems with the GPU. I mean, I don't know if there are any that even still work these days. I mean, you have one, they're virtually just going to fail on you. Never really had such problems with the 2010s though, and they maybe have other problems, but I've never really had any problems with the 2010s. There is no doubt about the fact that this problem, I think, has come about because of that lousy connector, but I think we've then created some additional problems. So I'm going to start off with the schematic here, and we're going to have a look at this fuse, and he should be well, we've got the driver, which is Q9806, and we've got a couple of resistors here. Which one of these goes to ground? LCD backlight. Let's have a look. So R9808, R9808. Let's have a look at that. R9808. So I can just I want to work out the orientation of this R9808. That's there, and that is there. Okay. There's the fuse. Oh, no. Okay, cool. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. See if we can't figure something out here or not. Let's just jump back here into this to see if the Right, so scope view. So looking at blur, look at this fuse. No, okay, cool. So that should go from there to there. And it does, that's good. And that one, so the other side of this one goes to PPVNS LCD backlight. That's one of these things. So let me just find out where that goes. It goes onto another page. Actually, I can do that with a bloody stupid person. I'm not using a vintage Mac. I'm using a modern one. I have board view. I can click on the thing and show me where it goes. So that one should go to R0904. And that's a 0 ohm resistor. From there, what is go PP bus G3 hot. And PP bus G3 hot. That's everywhere. That's everywhere. Q7260. What have we got? We've got. God, this is going to get so dull. Sorry, folks. And if anyone is wondering what that weird noise is, that is an Australian raven. That's the noise they make. So, now, what? I'm being trolled. I was sure this was giving me continuity to ground before. And it's not anymore. Okay. 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 All right. It's just making fun of me, that's all. It's just making fun of me. Okay. All right. So, right, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to try the ugly connector from the other screen, plug it in, and see if we start getting a short with that connected up. That was the advice given by who was it? Scrolling by Big Bad Biologist, Big Bad Bench. Most fuse and test it without connecting the video cable. See if God, it is actually not a bad idea, that one. See if it plays. Yeah, let's try that, because then that just we isolate it straight away. Then we know it's the display cable, and then we just have to replace the cable. So we're going to do that. I don't have an inexhaustible supply of fuses, but I do have some. Okay, dead fuse. Let's have a look at 3 amp 32 volt. I'm just going to find all of the other boards that have the same size fuse in it, see if I've got other donors. To finder, and then we go up here and we search for 3 amp 32 volt. Oh, heaps of them. So heaps and heaps and heaps. So let's start hunting through some of the boards I have here and see what we can find. Okay, that's a contender. That's a 2009. Let's have a look at that. Intel Core 2 Duo. So this is a, looking for the number. People sing out if you want me to work on something else, because I totally appreciate this is a bit boring. 820-2610. 820-2610. 820-2610. There we go. So it is in that, and it is. Come on. Here we go. There it is. It is called F9800. Well, will it be in a similar sort of location? What do you reckon? Never going to find it. Never going to find it. F9800 2610. Open. 2610. Where is it? Where is it, everyone? This is a 17-inch 2009. There it is. 2009 model. So quite fond of these ones. The only problem with them is they get hot. And we're looking for F9800. F9800. And we will find him. Oh, he's in virtually the same spot. So if we go that way, he's right there. There he is. He's virtually in the same spot as the as this other board. Right there. Let's get the multimeter out. Check that this one is okay. Here he is. And let's whip him off. I do find this is actually one of the things that I really don't like about doing these sorts of repairs on live stream, is having to keep referring to the schematic. It takes me away from the you know, the chat, the live stream, and all that. Look at that snot. Okay, what's happening here? Joe Williams, hello there. Rob Brown, hello there. Right. So, anyone who's just joining, just quick little catch up here. I do apologise. I do feel like this is turning into one of the most boring live streams I've ever done. So, just forewarning you, full disclosure. Essentially, I have a 2010 MacBook Pro 17-inch, and it has no backlight. And so, I am trying to sort that out. Now, one of the things we found out relatively quickly with it is it had a blown fuse. So, okay, no worries. Let's replace the fuse. Nice and easy. Problem. Blew the fuse almost immediately. Now, what we're doing now is we're replacing it with another fuse, but this time we've got logic on our side. We are going to try and fire this up without the display connected and see if it blows the fuse. If it does, we know the problem's somewhere on the board. If it doesn't, we know that the problem is with the display connector or the display. Now, we do know that the display connector is pretty manky, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if it is the display connector. But, you know, we need to be scientific about this, because we're nerds. God, that fuse certainly got cooked, didn't he? Hope he's still okay. Oh, Stevie's here. Hello. Hello, Steve. No beige. Well, I started with beige, but you weren't here for that. And I may well go back to beige. We'll see. But yeah, this is what it just needs doing, ultimately. This is for my cousin. And I'd like to try and get this fixed up for him if I can. Either that or I'll lend him another computer. Computers are raining down on me at the moment. Okay, fuse is still good. The other day I got a 2012 Mac Mini, another 2012 Mac Mini. Essentially it was an old school friend, and the hard drive on it failed, and he got an opportunity to get a laptop for quite cheap, which I also repaired. And so he said, oh, I want to transfer everything across to the laptops, which I did. I said, okay, now here's your Mac Mini with a dead hard drive. What do you want to do with it? And he said, you can have it. I was just going to throw it away. So 2012 Mac Mini, another one. That's what I do my live streaming from here, 2012 Mac Mini. It's i7 and that. And then the other day I'm getting a 2012 iMac i7, and I'm getting a 2015 iMac. That's an i5. No, actually, sorry. 2012 iMac is an i5 quad core. The 2015 iMac is a i5 dual core. And yeah, so it's just raining Macs on me at the moment. Right, so the fuse has been replaced. What we need to do now is we need to connect it up, fire it up, and see whether we kill the fuse immediately. But we will not be connecting the display, we'll just be connecting the power. And we'll switch him on, we'll let him have a little zoom, and then we'll see what happens. Oh, come on, man. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to connect up the speaker because I want to hear if it chimes. I'm not going to connect the hard drive because I don't want it to boot. I should connect up the trackpad because I think there are sensors in there that if it doesn't detect the trackpad, it gets upset. Yep. Not going to connect the keyboard. Not going to connect the display connector. I'm just going to put a bit of Captain on so that it doesn't accidentally touch something it shouldn't. Okay, so let's see what happens when I plug this little sucker in. Is that the one I sent? No, the one you sent has already been repurposed. My wife is now using that one as her main machine. She's got a couple of HD screens coming off at the moment. It's awesome, and I thank you very much for that. But yes, no, this is another one, yet another one. So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 2012 Mac Minis. But they're just such a versatile little computer. I mean, I love these things. Okay, we've got a boot. We've got a chime. It's not going to boot because, you know, we're not going to get anything on the screen because it's not plugged in. But we do want to detect and see whether that fuse blew. So, unplugging it now. Unplug a Rooney, unplug a Rooney, unplug a Rooney, unplug a Rooney. This one, I've got to be very gentle. Oh God, I haven't let the chickens out. No wonder they're making so much noise. They're going to be pissed with me. They're going to be like, eggs, huh? You reckon you're getting eggs, do you? Forget about it. So the problem with this connector is it's starting to lift off the board. So I have to be really careful with the way I disconnect the plug, because I do not want to pull the whole thing off, which I'm currently doing. Son of a gun. There we go. All right, so I don't want to leave anyone in suspense, so we'll just quickly check the fuse right now. Still works. So we have done good, friendly diagnostics work, and I thank Big Bad for his contribution there. I am going to have to replace the display connector on this monitor, and that's a job I really hate doing. I will probably start on it now. I don't know if I'll finish it, but I do need to let the chickens out. So please, hands on your volume controls, because this does tend to come out a little bit loud. I'm just going to press the back scene music, and I'll be right back. Just occurred to me that I'm very hungry. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So I am going to need to do some dismantlage, I think. So, where did I put the parts for this one when I disassembled it? Possibly here? Nope. 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 That's a maybe. Nope. Nope. Well, come on, they have to be somewhere. I mean, looks like it could be this, but I've done it in a very haphazard way. I have enough screws that even if I lost all of them, I'd be able to replace them from other computers, but yeah, better to put the screws that the original ones back in. Okay, Jay, be right back. He's a busy man. He's a very busy man. So we need to take the display off, and that's not a fun job. What it involves is we have to take that off and that off for starters. So that's a couple of screws here. There's that one. Let's get rid of that little stray piece of metal. Whoops. You're looking at my head. You're not looking at what I'm working on. It's not the same, is it? It's just not the same. Going out to dinner tonight, quite looking forward to it. Going to our local Ethiopian restaurant. Rather nice food, I must say. Okay. Do. So these all have to come out, these like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth plugs. They all have to come out because they all go into the screen. So if we're going to take the screen off, so too to those plugs, and the camera as well. Camera cable. I'm going to have to take that crap off as well. Do you think I'll remember where all these screws go? Probably not. Yeah. Come out, damn screw. Thankfully, there are lovely pictures of these on the old iFixit, so that can help. What was that? Yeah, that Model SE30 shenanigan is a rare Sean model from Action Retro. Always fun like that. This is cracked. I should replace it with mine. Did I wreck it? Because I was very, very careless with it. Because I didn't care. Oh, I broke it. Yes, sir, I broke it. Mind you, it's still in better condition than that one, so I might still use it. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. So we need to now remove this, and so typically what I would do is I would undo a few screws. I mentioned this before. This is the way it should be done. Undo. 1, 2, like this, and like this, and here, 1, 2, and then stand him up, open him up about, I don't know, that far, then take the other one off. Take one. And 2. Okay, so now these two aren't actually screwed together anymore. Okay, then we just wiggle him out. It's a little bit tricky, but especially with these bigger screens, but you'll come. Come on. There we go. Okay. That's stuck. There we go. So, you know what would be awesome? It would be absolutely awesome if there was a way to get the display connector cable out without having to remove the LCD, like if you could just do it from under here. But that is not the case. That is not how these things work. Oh, damn it. So, in order to get this display cable out, I've just got it. This is just crazy. I'm just trying to avoid having you guys have to stare into my bloody crotch, but at the end of the day, this screen is big. So, sorry, just checking here. Right, so display connector, it's here, and it travels in under there, into there. Oh wow, looks like it's got some corrosion. No, that's just a sticker. It's cool. This is as loose as anything. Look at that. That is not meant to be like that. Wrong size. Okay, we're doing good. So, what has to happen now? This whole piece of glass has to come out, and it has to come out preferably in one piece. And then and then this rubber comes off, and that will then give us the access to the screws to remove the LCD. And then when I can take the LCD out, I can then get to the other side of this cable, and that's what needs to happen. Anyone who wants to leave now, I won't blame you. I won't blame you. Okay. Another big problem with this is this rubber edging around here. It's very easy to melt it. So I'm going to start here in this little corner. Try and get something under there. What's generally a good idea is to have picks or plectrums, guitar picks, to shove under there as you go. We need to get this nice and warm. It's held on with adhesive, and of course there is a flip side to that. When we're finished, we need to get new adhesive on there, double-sided tape and whatnot, to make it stick down. Let's try and get this nice and warm. Everyone hit that like button for luck. Yes, I'm going to need it. Thank you. Just a reminder, I haven't said this in at least half an hour. I now have a Patreon. No obligation to anyone to actually join my Patreon or contribute money, but I have had a few people who have said, you know, can you set up a Patreon? And like, far be it from me to discourage them. So you'll find links in the description if you want to have a look at the different tiers that there are there. I am planning some fun stuff for the patrons in the future. I am going to be doing a few, what do you call them, sort of exclusive videos. A bit of behind the scenes touring, stuff like that, seeing around the shed. Might even go and say hello to the chickens. And what else? I'm going to do a couple of streams where I may or may not be under the influence of alcohol. This has been removed before. That came off so easy. Seriously, this has definitely been removed before. I mean, seriously, I haven't even heated up this side and it's just coming off. I use a scalpel when I do this and everyone says you shouldn't do that. But you know, I'm an individual, you know, that's the way I like to do it, you know. Big Marx Brothers fan. What's the reference? So hang on. I had a Marx Brothers moment there, eh? Someone fallen up against the door. Ah, okay. I think we're probably imagining what was that Marx Brothers movie where they were all in the tiny cabin on a ship? It could have been Horse Feathers? No, was that Horse Feathers? Can't remember. I'm a huge Marx Brothers fan, by the way. I just absolutely love Marx Brothers humour. Night at the Opera. No. Wasn't a night at the opera. There was a night at the opera, a day at the races, Horse Feathers, and there was the one with the speakeasy with the what was it, the password was swordfish. There we go. It is released. This sun in my eyes is not helping. There we go. Now, where do we put that so that it doesn't get absolutely and totally royally rooted? I have no idea. That'll do. Okay, here's a liquid crystal screen. Isn't it liquidy crystally? So then we need to get this rubber stuff off from here. Just from the bottom. YouTube disagrees with your memory. Why? Wait. Coconuts. Coconuts was, I think, their first film. That was the one with the viaduct. Talking about the viaduct. And then wire fence and all that sort of stuff. That was funny. I think, God, I could be getting these all mixed up now. There is definitely a Marx Brothers movie called A Night at the Opera. There is indeed. And A Day at the Races. I'm pretty sure the one on the boat was Horse Feathers, but I could be wrong. Hey, what's happened? Steve just sent me a message. I can be no good that can come of that. No, sir, no, sirree. I just went all Biden on there. Okay. Messages. Okay, I see the picture. And I must be, I think there might be two movies on the boat then. Because if that's a picture from Night at the Opera, yeah, okay, if that's a picture of Night at the Opera, there's another one where they're on a boat. They're on a ship, and it's, and I think it's Horse Feathers, but I could be wrong. Okay, that's enough for Marx Brothers. Right. I really shouldn't put things on the LCD because I will then have to clean it. So we have one little screw here. Plonk him there. Let's get a little magnet. I stick a magnet on the end of the screwdriver here to make it magnetized. And we have that one there. Boom. Geez, that wasn't even screwed in properly. I'm sure I've never replaced a screen on this one. So someone else must have. I mean, I would know. Okay. God, this sun has pissed me off. I never thought I'd say that when it's been so freaking miserable. Weather-wise, that is. I just can't see anything. Whoa. God, that better not have been this cracking. Don't think it was, but can you imagine? Yes, I can imagine. Coconuts, the Marx Brothers were stowaways. That's the one I'm thinking of. Are you sure that was the Coconuts? So what was the first movie then? The one where they were running the hotel. Because now I'm totally confused. I'm perfectly willing to accept that I'm wrong because, you know, I'm wrong a lot. But I'm just, I'm now just getting mixed up with which one is which. Oh, piss off, son. Everything I do here, I now have to do in reverse, and I'm really not looking forward to that. Okay. Here's the cable. Are they the same? So if they're not, we're screwed. Yep, they are the same. That wasn't meant to be there, I don't think. Room service was the one with the hotel. Oh, now I'm getting I'm just getting so mixed up now. Okay. Gotta try and get this plugged in. And that's a challenge. I'm going to take my gloves off for this. I need a bit more tactile stuff. This is really tricky. I'm sure. Is there a better way to do this? I don't know. I just have to make sure I don't get that in the wrong place. When that sits in there, that rubber needs to be on that side. That side. Connected! Now there was a little piece of plastic on there, wasn't there? Hey, come back. There we go. So, Animal Crackers. Remind me the general plot of Animal Crackers, please. Get your Tootsie Fruitsy ice cream. Get your Tootsie Fruitsy ice cream. Oh, dumb. It's coming off again, folks. Of course, Bruce is a dodo. I think that's meant to go there. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting it. It would be a friggin' miracle if I don't break this. Okay, let's try again. This time with feeling. Captain Spaulding. Oh man. Hurry for Captain Spaulding. Hello, I must be going. Oh man, that's gold, that one. That is just absolute gold. Good old Margaret Dumont. She's dead now. Here's an interesting little story that I heard. Don't know if it's true, but when they used to do the Marx Brothers as a stage show, before they did the movies, one time Groucho was unwell. He wasn't able to do the show. So Zeppo, he's Marx brother, not in many of their movies, but he was the other Marx brother. Zeppo apparently did Groucho, put the moustache on and did Groucho for the live show. And nobody could tell the difference. Now, as I say, may not be true, but if it's true, it's a cool story. So there was actually a fifth Marx brother that never appeared in any movies. Here's a good trivia question for you. No Googling. Who knows the name of the fifth Marx brother? And I mean his stage name, not his real name. No, Zeppo is the fourth. There is a fifth. Zeppo was actually in a movie. The fifth was never in a movie with them. He used to be part of their stage show, but he was not part of any of their movies. Hey. Come on, get in there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gummo. Well done, Joe. So that is correct. The fifth Marx brother was Gummo. So you had Groucho, Chico, Harpo, Zeppo, and Gummo. That's a good one to come up. It comes up in trivia and stuff like that. So good one to know. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I want to never have to do this again? 10. Okay, that's all the screws. Let's just tighten them all up. When I do this sort of stuff, I generally put the screws in not fully tightened, just in case it needs to have some give in any direction to get all the screws in. And once they're all in, I then work my way around and tighten them all up. I've got bloody that song in my head now. Hooray for Captain Spaulding. Don't know the words, but I'm pretty good at singing songs without words. It's my special talent. Songs by Richard Marx. Okay. Just getting this rubber bit down. Right, now, as I mentioned before, I did break this piece, which would have been really good if I hadn't, but it is in better condition than the one he had, so I'm going to use mine. Just drop that again. Yeah, have to take it apart again, yay. So, I think one of the worst computers to ever have to pull apart would be one of the clamshell MacBooks. They're really not fun. You just find yourself swearing at Johnny Ive the whole time you're doing it. He's going, Ive, you asshole. Can't remember which way this slides. Whether it's hither or thither. Yeah, that's on. That's on, I said. Don't you contradict me. Right. So, before I do any more, I'm not going to stick the glass on because I have to clean the crap out of it. We just want to see whether we can get backlight on this now. So actually, I don't need that. I don't need that at all. I just need one of these. Is that the right one? Looks the same. 8202361. Yes, it is the same. So I can test this now, like this. I believe I can anyway. And if I believe I can, I can. That side. Mac G5 Tower's a bloody nightmare to take apart. I've never had to take one apart, I have to say. It is possible the LED array is shorted. You know, the only reason why I am pursuing this like it is a definite cause to the problem is because that connector was in such bad condition. So I am kind of thinking that that is the most likely cause, that those little plugs are probably shorting inside the connector there. We have a nice new connector now, all looking good. Plonk that on there. I probably shouldn't put that on the liquid crystal, but never mind. And here we go, light. Fan spin. Won't get any sound, of course. And it's going to, fans are going to spin like, oh hey, what's it? Yeah! Look at that! Does anyone else see that? Chippy! Get away, pigeon. That is what I call a happy backlight. Now, the reason why the fan is spinning so hard at the moment, in case you could hear that, you may or may not be able to hear it. The reason it's spinning so hard at the moment, and we've got ourselves a flashing because we've got no hard drive connected, is I don't have the trackpad connected. And when you don't have the trackpad connected, there are a bunch of sensors that aren't connected, and it just makes the fans go into meltdown like that. They just spin really hard. But look, that is a really, really successful outcome. I'm feeling very pleased about that. We still have one problem with this computer, and that is the keyboard doesn't seem to work. The keyboard could be fried. I have no idea. I need to see if I've got a keyboard that works somewhere that I can just check. I've got so many keyboards in here, and I don't know if they work or not. So, see, this one here doesn't seem to be particularly manhandled. So, this is off a 17 by the looks of it. I'm going to connect it. Okay, that is connected. And the idea will be, I'm going to connect this to power. It'll switch itself on, and then I want to try and switch it off with the power key. There we go. So it's going to come on, spin, and I've got, this is the power button here. Even though on the Mac it looks like the power button is separate, it is still actually part of the keyboard. It's just attached by this little umbilical here. Okay, pressing the power button. I don't know if this keyboard works. I mean, I really don't know if this keyboard works. I've probably got a working one over here I might be able to use. It's not switching off, is it? So, but we're not proving anything because that keyboard could be stuffed too. I mean, let's face it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it, people. That keyboard's mangled, which means that's probably stuffed as well. Why do I keep broken keyboards? Why am I asking you? See, most of these keyboards have the same connector. Oh, something fell down. So you can test a keyboard from a different Mac. Here's a keyboard. I mean, this is probably stuffed too, but let's see. It's a very common failing on these Macs, the keyboard goes, because it's the first line when there's liquid damage. I will be finishing this stream soon. I'm just letting everyone know I will be finishing this stream soon. I have to because I'm hungry. Probably another dead keyboard. Nearing lunchtime or well past lunchtime. Actually, it's only, it's not as late as I thought it was. It's 10 to 2 here at the moment. Definitely lunchtime. I usually have lunch about 1 to 1:30. So see, power button. Okay, what I'm going to do, I just want to try this. Power button. Okay, so I just switched it off there using that power button. Now, can I switch it on with this? That's a big negatoro. I need to find a known good keyboard in order to continue. I'm very good at collecting broken parts, so again, that's another one of my superpowers. Don't you fall. What's that? Well, what's that? Got a lot of top cases. Where are the bottoms? Oh, there's some. Just going to go over here. Wait a second. Okie dokie. All right. Now that is an exciting looking keyboard. Someone's been raiding it for keys. I really don't want to have to remove the keyboard. Here's another one. Actually, this looks... Oh, this actually looks like a keyboard. Hang on. Look at this. What I found. It's even in plastic. There's no freaking cable. How the hell do you plug it in? This is just the keyboard part of it. It's not the electronics part of it. It's so stupid. That's just so stupid. Okay. 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 All right. Here's the top case. Whoa. It's even a 17-inch. No, it's not. It's a 15. I might want to put something underneath here, something insulative. Okay. I fired up. Okay, so we have a bad keyboard. Adam McGee, hello there. Right, so we've definitely got a bad keyboard on this one because I won't fire it up. So I need, but that's good. I mean, at least I know what it is. It just needs a new keyboard. Switch him off. Okay. Don't think I can use that because this is off a 15, not a 17. Prune. The screws that hold the keyboard in are too easy to strip the Phillips head. Be careful. Yeah, I've actually got a particular screwdriver head that I use, or a particular screwdriver I use for that. Not to mention the fact that I have a massive supply of them. Got a great big bag full of those little screws, so if I wreck any, I can just replace them. Okay, so let's just get that over there. That's that keyboard. Can I... Okay, so this is off a 15, not a 17, so I can't really use that. I've got... I don't have any other 17. Okay, so I'm going to have to buy a keyboard. I'm going to have to buy a keyboard, I'm going to have to buy a keyboard, I'm going to have to buy a keyboard. Just have to be resigned to it. Well, I don't have to pay for it, but someone's going to have to pay for it. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Okay, so all in all, it's been pretty good. We know we have a dead keyboard. I'm pretty sure anyway. Let's just test. I wonder if I'll find like all sorts of liquid in there when I remove the keyboard. Wouldn't be surprised. As I say, this is a computer that gets used by some rowdy youngsters. All right, put that there, and I think what we'll do at this stage is we'll call it a night. I still have quite a bit of work to do. I've been going for 3.5 hours. I have to repair my television set. So that's what I'm going to do next. I've got to pull my TV set apart and hope that I don't break it in the process. I may film some of it. We'll see. Yes, the one I had before was a 15 screws. All right. Okay, so I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for the super chats. I want to thank everyone for the likes. And of course, if you haven't already,
smash that like button.
I am currently sitting on around... Oh, geez, the viewers shot up a little bit there a little while ago, just as I was getting towards the end. Crazy. I have been very quiet lately, and for that I apologise to people that I didn't stream last week. I have Patreon. I just wanted to remind people about that for like the 18th time. I have Patreon, and so if anyone wants to become a patron, you're welcome to do so, but no pressure. And the links are in the description. So Joe ended his stream. Oh no. Sorry, just reading some of the chat here. Out of fixing things slightly faster than you break other things. Joe's stream ended. Oh, okay. So everyone is off there watching Joe. Fair enough. I can understand that. It was nice of him to pop on and say hello at the beginning, though, don't you think? Okay, so what did we find out? We found out that we have a crappy cable here. This is the display cable from the from that MacBook Pro, and it was causing the fuse to blow because it's got, it's bad. So I replaced both connectors, both sides of the connector, the cable and the connector. Not this side of the connector, that one was still okay. I've got to put that screen back together again with some adhesive and some patience and all that sort of rubbish, which I'm not very good at. And I will stream again. I might even stream tomorrow. We'll just see how we go. I've still got plenty more to do. I've got to replace the battery in an iPod Touch. I've got a pile of Macs that I need to get through and get sorted. Got classics, classic 2s, color classics. There is just everything here at the moment, so lots to do. Watching me solo is comparable to watching Bob Ross paint. That may or may not be a compliment. Gosh, crikey. Okay, so this is me signing off. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to get all queued up here. I have to be all queued up because I get a lot of strife from Jay if I don't do the outro well. I appreciate your company, and I hope to see you at the next live stream. So thanks again, and bye-bye.